So when you're doing a prosecution, you want to try and fix your story, but it has to be proof that so you have to make sure that you're following the story of she lit the fire, she started the riot, stuff like that. That makes sense. Same with all.
So wait, so if I get to these and I also have to do.
Yeah, so people, the other side is going to cross-examine. This has what were some of those things that I just did. Trash cans and effigies. Effigies. E-F-F-I-G-Y-S.
Hey, if anyone knows YouTube, come over here.
You do? Hey, good. You're good.
Wow, that's a lot of questions.
Are you signing off? You can just say and remember, elaborate as much as you can.
Who knows YouTube? If you know YouTube, come here.
You don't need the live stream.
How do I get the link for this? I'm on a live stream.
Oh yeah, I don't know that.
I need the link for this live stream.
Link? Something edit maybe? There's always somewhere where there's a link.
You're seven.
No. Maybe if you just like just cancel. Is it like live right now?
Mhm.
Okay, how about copy that link and just like
I tried that and it takes me to like the studio. So that's what this.
it's the
So
studio.
this is the link here that I just did, and it takes me to YouTube Studio. Like, hold on, let's see what it says.
How about you try it like and then searching for the live stream or like your YouTube channel, and then you click on the live stream and copy the link from that.
Say that again, my man.
So just go to the YouTube website.
Like
Like right where you if it loads. And then search. Yeah, just press it right there.
Oh, and then I can get the link this
Yeah,
way.
try
Sweet.
it. Try that.
Sweet, thanks, man.
What?
Smart troubleshooting.
Julie said.
All right, can we get everybody in here? Everyone on in. Everyone in here.
Can we finish our last couple questions that we need to touch on?
You can be doing it right now because we're about to start.
Let's go.
Just keep going.
Right. So
All right, come on in. Come on in. If you're a defense lawyer, you're here. Prosecution lawyer, here. If you are a defense witness, you're here. Prosecution witness is here.
What are we? Or on the other side. Sydney. And other Sydney. Yeah, that one, the one that's
All right, jurors. You want to read that pink sheet real quick, jurors? Well, every time you swear someone in.
like out loud.
You can if you want, or individually up to you, but you need to read these. Come on over. You want to read these pink instructions, jurors.
I don't know.
When the person's walking up.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and read your jury instructions. This is a really complex case. All right, what do you have what you need? Do you have your evidence that you need?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. So.
Like, are you introducing me? Witnesses, you're good?
gets up and you read.
Read that while you're waiting.
You put the book out and you make them put their right hand on it. By the way, why? Because that's what's supposedly like the law. I know, that's what it's what presidents do.
Mr. Kirk, is this like jury
You'll come
verdict
on, right?
could be
No. Oh, I mean, maybe it will be, but we'll go with the person that, we'll go with majority. All right, if you are going to step away from the podium, please be aware that this is like not flat. You can trip on it, so be careful with that. Same with this one here. So if you're going to step from there, okay? Ryan's the bailiff. We had 2 people on the live stream. We already lost one of them. That's okay though. I don't know. And then what I'll do is if people can't hop on, I post the whole video on the same link that I sent home. So if you want to see those, you can see them that way. No, you're only going to get through probably, well, about a third of it probably about today.
Okay, good.
And then I'll be handwriting feedback for you. I need a courtroom photographer. I need one of you to be the photographer for the courtroom.
Is it just random moments throughout the case?
Just get things that look like a, like a trial. If it blanks out on you, you should still be able to get in.
No, not Chris. Riley, Chris. Wait, are we doing the bus? We talking about the bus or the rest?
You will not do any cross.
I said
You will only be cross.
that's ours.
Oh,
That's ours.
Can you tell him enough shit? Not at me. Can you just nod at me when I say it?
Can I do what?
Nod at you? Or nod at me? I'll just look at you and then
Okay, you need to say this. So stand up and say that very loudly.
like now?
Yep.
All rise, honorable judge, for presiding.
You may be seated. Okay, we're here to hear the case of the state versus Leslie Lane. She is charged with inciting a riot or urging a riot and arson. Jurors, any questions about your pink juror cards as to how the prosecution must prove guilt? Okay, if at any point in the trial you're like, I don't know what's happening, just raise your hand. I know it's not how a real trial works, but we'll literally answer your question in that moment. Maybe you don't know who's on the stand, or you didn't hear something, or anything, you let us know. We'll stop it and answer your question if you're at all confused. Yes?
Sydney doesn't have do we have to go in order for calling witnesses to the stand?
You can call your 3 witnesses in any order you want.
Yeah. Okay, because Sydney doesn't have one of them done.
Well,
so should I
do, but I kind of have to like revise.
For cross, you mean? Or you mean for your cross, you're not ready? That's up to you. You're going to get, you might not get to that last witness or not. If you want to be nice and say that for your last person you call, you can choose to do that.
That is where I can't remember like build off of each other. So
I would present them in the way that makes the most sense to you. I'm confident Sydney will figure it out. This Sydney.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go, Sydney.
Cool. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't change what you're doing, and I bet you it's a cross. So I bet Sydney can think off the top of her head because they're yes/no questions. She'll be fine. I have every confidence in you. All right. Prosecution opening.
Your Honor, may I proceed?
You may.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today on account of Miss Lane's actions. My name is Sydney Laporte, and I am one of the lawyers on the prosecution team. Let's cut to the chase. Me and my team will prove to you that Leslie Lane is guilty of starting the fire that burned down the school and inciting a riot. We will prove this by showing the true story of what happened during the incident. Leslie Lane stood and shouted into the crowd in order to get them riled up. She spoke emotionally, like any good public speaker would. She was speaking about all the hardships both of us had gone through with the new believers. You can't blame them for being upset. But going to the point of proceeding to light an effigy dressed as a new believer with a gold lighter, which she had done once before, and leave the scene, that's taking it too far. In the time between the little show Leslie put on and her next lighting, we believe she poured the gasoline on the 3 north, east, and west walls of the school and then left the scene, leaving the south wall practically untouched. We think Leslie planned her escape towards the housing units, and this is why the far wall has no damage done to it. Smart on Leslie's part. She ran north up to the left housing area, and when she saw Dana Daniels, she jumped over the wall to escape capture. She would have been worried that she'd be caught in the act, and we're here today because she was. Most of the evidence suggests that Leslie Lane is in fact guilty and supports her theory. The defense will try to tell you that other people lit the fire, H.H. Hinkle or those Leslie fans that appeared on the rally that night. But you will see that there are holes in their theory, and that the evidence points to our theory being right. During this trial, you will see Exhibit B. Sorry, guys, hold on. During this trial, you will see Exhibit A, a map like the ones handed out in the town hall meeting, except this one is different from the rest. 3 locations are circled, the school being one of them. We believe that had Leslie not been caught, she and her accomplices would have continued to set the homes and the community center, where her lighter and gasoline can were found, on fire, which are the other circled locations. We believe Leslie Lane is guilty of inciting a riot and arson. She did this by using her hate song, The New Believers, to gain the crowd's favor and finishing it off before she fled the scene, saying, "You know what we need to do. Tonight is the night we ruin the New Believers." Then she disappeared until found later by Miss Daniels. To start the fire, she used gasoline and a lighter to set the school on fire. Had she not been caught by Officer Dana Daniels, she would have continued this and destroyed more New Believers property. Based on her aggressive behavior in the past, evidence supports this claim. Thank you. Do I follow?
You may be seated. You're good. Oh wait, you're good, because we're gonna have them do their opening.
Okay.
Cool. All right, defense opening statement. You may.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. My name is McKenna Masters, and I am the defense representing Leslie Lane. We are here today because of a fire in the school of Clearwater Woodville on the New Believers property that started from one of 2 reasons. H.H. Hinkle from financial reasons for an accident, or just one small spark that could create a huge hot fire. During the course of the trial, you will see Exhibit A, a map of Woodville. It will show you the scene of the crime and how there is no possible way that Miss Lane could have made it to Woodville and started the fire in time. You will also see Exhibit B, Leslie Lane's gold-plated lighter. It will clearly show that this is not the lighter that Leslie was lit on the night of the fire. The witnesses who will testify today include Dana Daniels, Chris Chen, H.H. Hinkle, and the defendants Leslie Lane, Riley Robert, and Kelly King. Dana Daniels will state that the fire was set intentionally in multiple locations along the outside wall of the school. We will prove that this one person could not have started the fire in different locations along the wall. Chris Chen will accuse Leslie Lane of starting the fire. H.H. Hinkle and H.H. Hinkle will say that Miss Lane is an aggressive person that has been out to get them since day one. We will prove that Miss Lane did not start the fire due to timing and how she tried to stop protesters from starting their own fire. We will also see Leslie Lane, who explained how there is no possible way she could have committed to the fire and started in time. Riley Roberts, who will tell about the financial problems with the New Believers, and Kelly King will explain how a small spark could set the building aflame. You will see that Leslie Lane is charged with 2 crimes, urging a riot and arson. The defense will prove that Leslie Lane did not commit the crime of urging a riot. We will prove this by explaining the meaning of the song that Leslie Lane wrote, agreeing that everyone says things that they don't actually mean, and all songwriters write songs about things they can't actually take action on. We will also prove that everyone can interpret words in different ways. Miss Lane is also charged with arson. The defense will prove that Miss Lane did not commit the arson. We will prove this by explaining how Miss Lane could not have possibly made it to the New Believers property before H.H. Hinkle, and how one small electric spark could have immediately set the building with the flames. We ask that you find the defendant not guilty on all charges. Thank you. May I be seated, Your Honor?
You may. All right, any questions from the jury after the openings? Is it pretty clear what's happening here? Any questions at all? Okay. You can call your first witness.
Okay. Your Honor, this time, the prosecution team would like to call Dana Daniels to the stand.
Mr. Daniels or Miss Daniels? Mr.
Mr.
Mr. Daniels, come on up and see the bailiff.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth? Or do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated. You may proceed.
Sorry. Hi, how are you today?
I'm good.
You mentioned that you were an arson investigator. Would you like to tell us more about that?
Yes, I've been a arson investigator for a few years now, and I've been an expert witness in about 15 of the cases.
What fires have occurred recently aside from the one that broke your concern?
There have been two. There have been one of each of them have been of a effigy, and the first one
Can you repeat the question?
What fires have occurred recently aside from the one where you're concerned?
There have been two effigy fires.
What started those fires?
Leslie Lane.
Have you had any other run-ins with Leslie in the past few months? Please tell us about those.
Only when she was lighting the effigies.
What do you think of this new group Leslie Lane has started recently, concerned with fellow citizens?
I think that they are very violent, and they're very violent.
Are they destructive to Woodville?
Yes, they have done they have vandalized, they have broken many windows, set a few fires at the effigies.
On the night of the incident, what mentions of fire occurred before the fire was started?
Wait, may you repeat that question?
On the night of the incident, what mentions of fire occurred before the fire was started?
So in what way was there fire mentioned before the fire started?
Oh, and in the song she wrote.
How did Leslie address the crowd?
She addressed them extremely violently.
How did the words in Leslie's song make you feel? Specifically, the words "burn them out" and "putting matches to the gas."
I think that they were very literal, and then we have reasons to believe that they were.
What was your reaction once you finished the song?
I was very suspicious about it.
Where do you think she went or was going when she left?
I think that she was going to start the school fire.
In your witness statement, you concluded that gasoline was what had been used to start the fire. Did you find gasoline anywhere else?
Yes, I found it in a behind a shed near the scene of the crime.
You said the defendant was coming from the community center. Is it possible that she ran from the fire scene to the gasoline and lighter stored there? When she saw you coming, jumped over the wall in hopes of escape. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I think that it is extremely possible.
In your witness statement, you mentioned how only one of the walls was still standing in the event of the fire. Which side was it, and what led you to believe what did that lead you to believe as an arson inspector and as a cop?
The only wall that was standing was the south wall, and it was, and I think that wait may you repeat the question?
Which side of the wall was the one left standing, and what did that lead you to believe as an arson inspector and as a cop?
The only wall standing was the south wall, and I believe that that every wall except that was lit.
You said that Leslie was running north to get to the wall, and how the only wall standing was the south wall. How do these pieces of evidence correlate at all?
I think that she she was running to the north to set the fire, and then she was she was running north to set the fire.
Didn't you say there was a gasoline smell on the scene of the crime? Where do you think it came from?
I think it was coming from from the excess gasoline left over from the fire.
Where was Leslie found after the school was lit on fire? And could you inform us where she was running from? I'm gonna skip that question.
And then to be clear, it was a community center that was lit on fire, right?
Wasn't it school? It was a school.
Okay.
What was Leslie's facial expressions and body language telling you?
I think that they were telling me that she had started the fire.
What are your initial thoughts when you first saw Leslie Lane jumping over the wall shortly after the building was her to the ground?
I thought, I thought that she was the one that started the fire.
And what was your evaluation of the crime scene?
Well, I think that that she's the one started that started the fire. And then the song was meant to make the. Wait, can you repeat that question?
What was your evaluation of the crime scene?
I think that it was all Lane.
No.
You all done?
Yeah.
You may be seated. All right, Cross. You're still here, buddy. No, it's yeah.
Can I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Hello, Mr. Daniels. How are you doing today?
Good.
So you are a police officer at the Woodville Police Department.
Yes.
So you are the police officer that arrested Leslie, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when you arrested her, did she seem violent?
No.
Okay. And all other times that you have spoken to Leslie, she has been cooperative and understanding.
Yes.
And so you saw her jump over a wall and proceeded to arrest her.
Yes.
Do you think that was the right move?
Yes.
You don't think that talking to her and then arresting her when she became violent or out of control was the right thing to do in this situation?
No.
Okay. So the New Believers have closed the private road in July because of retaliation, because there was posters up around that, yes? And on July 3rd, there was vandalism at school.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were driving back from the school after assessing the situation, and it just so happened that you ran into and caught the two teenagers that committed the crime. And they confessed to the crime.
Yep.
And you arrested them? Okay. And you had every right to arrest them. They confessed to the crime. But did Leslie ever confess to the crime at the scene?
Nope.
Okay. And so did you physically see Leslie jump over the wall? Okay. Did she struggle at all? Because, I mean, I know you're a police officer, so you could probably jump over a 4-foot wall, but I don't know if Leslie could.
Not yet.
Did she struggle when she's asking to get over the wall?
No.
Okay. No further questions.
All right. You good? You could redirect if you want. You don't have to.
No.
All right, witness is excused. You can call your next witness. This is a juicy trial, huh? I don't know if judges are allowed to say that in the middle of trial.
Your Honor, at this time, prosecution team would like to call Trish Chen.
Ms. Chen, all right, come on up. Go see the bailiff.
Do I say may I proceed? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah. Yes.
You can be seated and really try and project your voice so the jury can hear your answer. Okay? You may.
So, hello, Chris. How are you doing today? Good. So, you mentioned that you and Leslie have been good friends. Tell us about that. How long have you been friends?
We've been friends since high school, and she usually wanted to be the center of attention. Usually with
Interesting. How well do you know her?
really well since I've known her since high school.
You said in your statement that you went to high school with Leslie, and that she pulled some not so funny pranks. How did those make you feel?
Made me feel really upset and sometimes worried.
You've had some interactions with Leslie recently, like leading the CWC. You think the CWC or concerned local citizens' motives and reasons? What do you think their motives and reasons for starting were when you were co-leading with Leslie?
I think that she meant no harm at that point.
So, what do you think her intentions are now?
I think she's aggressive.
So, you left it. You said that it was because Leslie was getting too aggressive. Just how aggressive?
She was threatening to burn things.
So I take it you were not okay with the actions Leslie was making. You also said that Leslie made some pretty bold statements, openly harassing the New Believers. How many times has Leslie mentioned fire to you lately?
Too many times to count.
You know she's lit some things on fire in the past. What were those things?
Trash cans and effigies.
You know what an effigy is, jury?
No.
Okay, you remember when, King George? Remember him?
Yep.
Well, at least one of you remember. That was from history class. So that was the king during the colonial times, right? And the colonists would create things that looked like him and then burn them symbolically.
Yeah, they did one of those at my school once.
Of a teacher?
No, it was like an effigy for like it was like a celebration.
Gotcha. So like, it's like basically you build something to represent someone and you're lighting it on fire as like to show you're against that thing.
Yeah, and it was one of the new believers.
And it was one of the new believers.
Effigy of a new believer.
Cool. All right, keep going.
How upset was Leslie when her festival she was performing at was closed?
She was very excited.
When Leslie started chanting at the crowd or singing her song, what do you think her purpose was?
To start a riot or a protest.
When you overheard Leslie talking about gasoline containers or cans, what do you think her motive behind that was?
I was scared and afraid that she was going to hurt someone.
So with everything you said, Leslie spoke, no school tomorrow, burn them out, and many others, what action was she urging the crowd to take?
To harm the school or the children.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to introduce Exhibit A into evidence of map of
Bailiff? Go grab the evidence.
And it's the stuff at the top.
At the top. Okay.
Just ignore the bottom part, that's the writing stuff.
This stuff here?
What's weird about this map compared to the ones handed out at Town Hall? So it's the difference between the top and the bottom.
There were circles around the areas, in certain areas, including the school.
What purpose do these three circle locations have?
Like targets for where she was going to start a fire.
And the black circles connect them. So how do you think they are important?
What number question is that?
Huh?
What number question is that?
Number.
Number. Do you have it numbered?
Oh, no, I did not. I just have bullet points.
They were all new believers.
It's okay, we can skip that one. So the fact that the school was one of the circled locations and was set on fire seems interesting to me. What do you put up to the locations Leslie had not been caught?
They would have been set on fire.
And what was your initial reaction hearing the school was on fire?
I was sad and mad.
And that, no further questions.
All right. Cross. Oh, you said that.
We have 2 minutes.
We'll see how many you got.
17.
We have 1 minute.
Let's do cross tomorrow. With that? Are you going tomorrow?
No,
Okay, cool. We'll get through this tomorrow. Hey, wherever you're sitting right now, I need you sitting there when the bell rings. We're going to need every minute of tomorrow to get to this trial. Okay? Cool. Good job today. If you want feedback, come up. Thank you. I'm calm and your voice is really well. You have to be narration between your questions. Sydney, logical questions. Professional ideas, that was a question that I thought it was a good idea. So we're going at there. You feeling good about it?
yeah, not us. Do you want me to
I
end
think
the
it's all
live?
really well. No, we'll keep going. Yeah, cool. I think it all looks really good.
Wait, okay, so you.
All right.
No.
So it'll be.
You got this or not?
Prosecution. Cross. Prosecution is 2. Cross. Prosecution
Start
is 3.
outside
Then
this
cross.
trial.
Defense, yes.
How many people we got?
Defense goes
We got a
last.
viewer.
So it's gonna be-
Who's viewing?
Yeah, we're the only ones who have.
There was no one viewer.
Thursday and Friday, that should be okay, because we're gonna get through your trial tomorrow. You're a witness in a pretty good trial. Perfect. Where you going? Oh, my wife and my kid. We'll talk about every class is different, so it depends on who's here. Yes, every class is different.
No, it's not wrong.
Really?
We're gonna be able to hear you. Come on out here. Come on out here. Come on out here. Our first trial is what? Madison, it looks like. Is that right? Okay.
Did we have a like?
Oh,
Wait.
All right. Who's your co-counsel? Who's the other lawyer with you? And who are you or 3 minutes? Okay, you head on in there. You get some time to prep them. We'll start in about 10 minutes, okay? We're going to have to... yeah, I don't think we're allowed. We're not be able to go on inside. When you gone? Friday, and then who else is on there?
She asked him about Thursday.
Actually, Kaden, when do you leave?
I won't be here tomorrow. So today's the last time.
Do this for me. If you are in the Madison trial, whether you're a witness or a lawyer, head in the room. Everybody else. So if you're in the Madison trial, in there. If you are not in the Madison trial, and you're not doing
I don't know. If we don't have Jacob,
sit over there.
How to get
If you're in the prosecution for the trial, sit here.
There is Jacob.
There you go.
Please tell me there is. Yeah, we're in.
I have no comment.
Jacob has left us. No, Jacob has left us.
That would be the worst thing. Bro.
I thought you were going to read
Jacob, get in here.
What case?
Get in here. Yes, we're Madison. What did I just do?
Gavin.
What did I do?
It's not even plugged in. I'll get the other plug-in.
Thanks.
that sweater is so nice. You guys are going today. Cold. Wait, what's your face?
So we're going to the
They are going. We're going Thursday, Friday. Yeah. This is on. That's on. None of us. Sorry, you didn't that.
No. No.
I'm a Chiefs.
You're a Sharks.
No. I'm not dating
So what happened?
Guys, so what did you say?
What happened?
What? Okay, hold on. Cool, I got yo. What? So was it what? Was it you guys? No, I change.
I've never.
Alan?
Alan. Girl, bro.
No, you're not gonna be. Like we'll have to get read it with that, because that's something we're going to do in the semester to get a conversation. And they'll, it can be like a overall talk, whatever. We'd like to get it in the class or present. Who is not a witness for either trial? Okay, come with me. Perfect. Are you back on Monday?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Katie.
This is a good witness. All right, so here's what I'll have you do.
Love you.
Okay, so we'll get you.
Okay. Do you know it? No.
You need the answer. I got.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
No, you don't, Nate.
Say it.
Nate, no, you don't.
I have an 8. I'll quote mine. So, you're like just see mine.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna ask him.
You do not.
What?
No, it's not.
I actually have.
I'm
Not like
you.
So when they play, I don't know.
Babe, you're gonna look at a piece of paper.
I'm gonna highlight them.
What?
No, look, you need. Because he was making fun of Karen's hair. I think it looks so cute, doesn't it? But these are specific. We should burn them.
I like Gavin.
I like Gavin's hair too. I was gonna ask him.
You know.
I think he knows. I'm like, I'm so hard on that.
I'm just
I
want
don't
to hear Gavin. You got
I know, but like, already, it was all in sequential order.
I miss you.
Guys, are you doing this?
Fortnite lessons.
So.
Where'd you come from?
All right, hey, eyes over here. Sorry for the confusion. Here's what we're gonna do today. I forgot that they emailed me yesterday. This group is not ready for trial. We're gonna push them back to when you are going Thursday. Okay. So this group is not ready for trial. I was gonna push them to Monday because what will allow that, like next Monday after break, because then Caden can be the witness. He wasn't. Remember, he's leaving early. For people here, are we good for Thursday? Like if that's not gonna happen, let me know. Because I kind of scolded that group in there, I'm not going to lie. And I guess I'll scold this group a little bit. Probably because it's 8th hour, but, and I'm not being mean, so it's on me too. But every other group has been ready to go today. So it tells me that probably by 8th hour, we're less productive than other classes. That's what I'm getting out of it. So if we give you till, hey, you guys are going to go after break now. I totally, this group is not ready. Are we cool with that? Are any of you not here the Monday after break?
I should be here.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll have you guys practice as much as you need to, but then transition to free reading at some point, because you're also gonna get tomorrow as a practice day / free reading day.
All right.
Okay?
No one's going to?
No one's going today or tomorrow. So are you, my people here, this Hardy trial's here? Okay, I need to know if Thursday is going to work. So if it doesn't, then I can't push them both. I can see if they can be ready for Thursday. If you're not ready, what are our thoughts there? I know that I'm a little worried about the questions from this team. Like, are we done with our questions at this point? Okay, and do you have an opening and closing done right now?
We're close. I have my opening done.
Opening's done? Who's doing the closing?
It's not done.
Who's doing it?
Oh,
So you're writing that right now.
well, yeah.
That's what you're doing like right now.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So then Caden's working on questions with Kate since Kate is done. Meaning, Chanel, I would remove yourself from that group and go work on your opening and closing, whatever it is you need to finish. Does that make sense? There's no reason for you to work with these witnesses. You need to be finishing your closing.
I'm not working.
Okay. And then Katie.
So I am questioning, like, I'm doing cross and direct,
Uh-huh.
but I am only talking to my defense people, so I can't, how should I?
Sounds like we're confused on the format. Okay, so these are your witnesses, right? So these three witnesses are, who's your witness? Okay, so these are open-ended. Okay, so then, do we have those open-ended questions? Do you have the cross? Yes, no.
Are you doing social?
You're not gonna see that. This is the first time they hear those questions. So you prepare these, you create questions for these ones, but you're not prepping. All right, we're good on that? And then do you have your openings and closings done? Or you still need to finish that? And then questions done. And then your witnesses, questions aren't done yet? For cross, that's okay.
Okay, so I can just go one person.
Well, there's 6 questions, there's 6 witnesses. Who's doing direct? You have all of them done? Who's doing cross? You still have 2 more witnesses to do. I would consider, you can divvy it up with somebody else, if that helps you, because it's a lot easier to do direct than it is to do cross, way more work to do cross. Or,
Did you realize
the other thing is, like, you can always, and cross isn't something you're gonna prepare for, like, they don't need to hear it, so as long as you have those ready by Thursday, you're fine. Because they're just gonna hear them Thursday, they don't need to hear those tomorrow. So, it sounds like you 2 are focused on getting cross votes. Okay. Are your witnesses totally correct? Who are your 3 witnesses? And you're gonna prep witnesses? Are you feeling good as a witness? Do you know all the answers to all the questions you're gonna do? Okay, so we need to get, are these your witnesses as well? Or who? Luke and Emily? Okay, how are you 2 feeling about the answers to your questions? Do you know all of them?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, so Emily needs to be prepped, and then do you know what Luke needs to be prepped? Yeah. I don't need to ask, buddy. I'm pretty, only because you came in looking very confused today. All right, so I would take these 3 and get them prepped. If you are still needing to do cross, if one person can do that, you can work on your cross while that's happening. Okay, sure. All right, we good at this point? Okay. And then so you 2 can very much help create these questions. All right, just kidding, 8th hour. We do not have a trial today, so you will not need to be seeing this live stream. Boom, end that.